Hello, QuesoDivas. Welcome back to my series where I'm counting down my top 10 worst dates of 2025. I went on 77 dates in 2025, and these are the worst of the worst. We've already made it to number 5, you guys. We are halfway. We're halfway there. Looking good now. This one's not looking good. This one, I think this is the only date this year where I have blacked out parts of it because it was so traumatic. So technically, doesn't that mean this should be like the worst first date? But it hasn't. This one didn't hurt me. Wasn't salty. Because my later dates, I think, are ones where like they've made me cry. They've made me spiral. They made me crash out. This guy, I didn't spiral or crash out because guess what? We went on 2 dates. Once again, another man from Hinge that I went on 2 dates with. This is becoming a pattern. So something about this guy is he has the same name as my ex. There's only 3 names in my life that are off limits for me to date. My dad's name, my brother's name, and this ex-boyfriend's name. So he was one of the names that was forbidden, but he went by the abbreviation of the name. And so I also kind of let that slide because I'm like, that's different because I never called my ex the abbreviation of his name, only full name because he went by his full name. And this guy is yummy delicious and he doesn't look anything like my ex, so they're not even aligned. So I go on this Hinge date. Now this man's was like 30 something. All right, I went back in the close friends archive for this. Where are these? Because I share every detail of my life with my close friends, and I know the second date was traumatic because I didn't even post it on my close friends. Sometimes when it's like too much, I don't post it. I looked through all my texts. I don't think I told anyone about it via text. I definitely told people about it in person, but like I definitely blacked it out. This guy and I meet up at the Chelsea Hotel. Like it's a super cute, like the Chelsea living room in the Chelsea Hotel, super cozy, super vibey. He comes in, he's hot. He's definitely shorter than I thought, which they usually are, but he's hot. He was like 30, like I'm going to say he was probably 38, which is like the latest I would go when it comes to dating. The oldest I've ever gone was 42. Now my age is down to like no more than like 33. Like I don't think I'd really go on a date with a guy that's over 33. And we'll get to why in a different story time, but this one kind of relates. This is like a prequel. This is like a prequel because my theme this year was just because they are over 30 doesn't mean they have brain cells or their frontal lobe has developed. If they are over 35 and single, that means that they are actually some of the worst people and you should stay away. They're single for a reason. This guy I think was 38. He looked like he could have been my age. He looked like he could have been 25. He looked so insanely youthful. I like didn't believe him because I was like, how old are you again? And he said like 38 and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. He says he's from the South and has this like Southern accent, but it was giving performative. It didn't give like real Southern accent, but I'm never around people with Southern accents. And so I was like, I kind of like that. He does drop the lore that he's already been married and divorced. He's already been married and divorced. And that's insane. I can't believe that I went on a second date with him after finding out that he was married and divorced all by 26. Because I told him I was 26 because he says, okay, I'm 38. I'm like, oh, I'm 26. And he's like, whoa, I was already married and divorced by the time I was 26. I'm like, yeah, doggy. Let's saddle up. We're getting into this. The other note I have of him from our first date is that he referenced his dad as daddy, which that is a huge ick if anyone calls their dad daddy. I never called my dad daddy ever. And I mean, I get it. It's like a Southern, I guess, kind of thing. But like, my man is not going to be like, daddy, how's it going? Like, what? Like, he was calling his dad daddy. Inappropriate. For a 38-year-old man, inappropriate. He's cute, he's a Southern gentleman, and he is just like whirlwind obsessed with me. Definitely obsessed with me. I mean, who wouldn't be? And I think honestly, Midwestern and Southern men get really obsessed with me when I go on dates with them in New York City because I'm so bubbly, kind, like just happy to be around, very like Midwestern charm. And I think that gives them a lot of like comfort from home. Oh my God, I didn't even reference my drinks of choice tonight. Today I'm doing an Alani. And I might crack open this recess if I finish this. Low-key, this Alani is giving me anxiety. We go to the Chelsea Hotel. He has this fake Southern accent, yada, yada, yada. Our date ends. He's been married, divorced. And I went back in our texts because I still have them. And I'm trying to like rack my brain as to why I went on another date with him. Like, because after the date I posted my close friends, this guy has the same name as my ex. I think I'm in love with him. So it must have gone pretty well in Claireland. He texts me the next morning, "Hey you, hanging out with you was refreshing." Yeah, I'm refreshing. He says, "Have a great weekend with your people and I'll text you early next week." Love that. And then we immediately start texting about Taco Bell. So clearly I was trying to convince him to get some Taco Bell. Okay, we talk a lot in between the first and the second date. Like, we are texting a lot. I'm definitely into him because I'm texting him like a lot back. So we go for this second date and I'm like excited for it. Start at Tom and Jerry's in the Lower East Side, which is like a super divey bar. We get there, we like sit at the bar, and he requests something, and the guy literally just laughs at him and is like, "We don't have that here." Like, I think he asked for a certain type of like liquor, and the guy was like, "Dude, we're at a dive bar," which I'm like, if you did want that kind of liquor, why would you take me to this dive bar? Like, he picked it, I didn't pick it. And that like really flustered him and really upset him. And so I was kind of like confused by that. And then he also like just kind of like snapped at me at one point. And this is where everything starts to get blurry for me because I really don't like it when people like confront me and come at me when it's not warranted. Like, there's no reason for it. I can't remember what it is I said, but he did not like something I said and like snapped at me. So then it gets like super awkward, super weird, and I'm trying to rack my brain on how we can like save this night because this is within like 10 minutes of the date. Like, we had just sat down at the bar and it is not a vibe. I think also the bar was really crowded. There were a ton of people. Like, this bar is somewhere where like the young 20-year-olds like go out and they stand around with their friends, and we're here on a weekend. So I'm like, this is just like a stupid place to pick. And he's really not vibing with this bartender that told him off, but like, whatever. So I'm racking my brain on how to restore this night. The one thing I can think of is food. I'm like, okay, let's go somewhere with food. Let's go somewhere with food. Because I think he also just like moved here, which is never a good sign when they have just moved here, because they have no idea where anything is and like where to go. They're so directionally challenged. And there's nothing that gives me an ick more than a guy that's directionally challenged. Like, babe, you should know where we're going. Like, pull out your Google Maps. Like, I don't know where I'm going. I want to turn my brain off. And so we start walking around, maybe for some food, like probably another drink, because we only had like one quick drink at that place. And we stumble across this place that says they have pizza and it's like a bar. I'm like, perfect. Let's go in here. We sit down at this bar and he immediately, in his southern way, is like, "This lady would like pizza. Like, we saw that you have pizza on the sign. Okay. This pizza ended up being $37. Which was kind of crazy, and I could tell that he was salty about that, but like, he ordered it immediately. Like, we didn't ask any questions. It took like 40 minutes to prepare, and they arrive, and we're just sitting at like a bar. Like, this is another dive bar where they say they have pizza with this jumbo pizza. I guess they got it from like somewhere down the street. Like, they do a collaboration with, I don't know. It's just like the most New York, like, what is going on thing ever. Now I have this giant pizza, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want any, like, you have it." And he's just like in a bad mood. And I think he's in a bad mood because the pizza was $37 and we thought it was just gonna be like a slice of pizza, because usually everything here is by the slice. Nothing is by the pie unless it's like really fancy pie where it's like $37. Like, what are the odds? So anyway, we're sitting and like, we just like really can't get the conversation back off the ground. Like, our first date went so well, and I feel like he's just like in a bad mood. He's being really immature. I'm like, I can see why you're already divorced, babe, and why you've been single for 10 years since. If you think about that, he was married and divorced by 26. He's 38 now and still single. I'm like, yikes, you couldn't do it again? So it's me, it's him, and then there's this girl like standing at the bar trying to order, and she's standing there for like at least 20 minutes, and like, she's just like listening in on our conversation. I feel like she's just standing there. I kind of thought like maybe she worked there. Like, I was really confused as to like who she was and why it was taking her so long to order at the bar, because there's like no one at the bar. Like, I really don't know what was going on. Then after like 15-20 minutes of like me and him just like not really getting along in our conversation either, super awkward, she gets her shots from the bar and like looks at us, like immediately like walks up to me and says like, "Hey, like, I follow you," which I love meeting a follower girly. I was like, oh my God. But I was like, why did you stand next to us for so long before that and act like you had no idea who I was? Like, you were right there next to me for like 15 minutes. And she's like, "I bought you this shot and I bought you your date this shot." And she's like, then she asked me, "Are you going to make a story time about him?" Now, this guy has no idea what I do for work. I never tell men that I do dating story times. Like, no. And any man I talk about on here is a man that I'm never planning on seeing again. So it's like, and he like looks at me and he's like, "What?" And this already isn't going well. This isn't a guy that I want to see again. This is a guy maybe I would make a story time about, but like, I don't want him out there like looking for it. Like, this guy was giving me like crazy, like, it was almost like so bad that I didn't want to do a story time because clearly I'm traumatized from it. Like, I have trauma blockages from whatever he like came at me at the bar and said. Because I just remember it was like bad. And she's like standing there. She also references one of my like other story times. Like, she's just like rambling about how I post story times on TikTok to him, and then giving us both a free shot and being like, and like, I appreciate her like coming up to me saying hi, but I'm like, wait until I go to the bathroom, or like he goes to the bathroom, or like when I'm alone. Don't ask in front of my date, are you going to make a story time about him? That's crazy. Because I've had girls come up to me when my date's been in the bathroom. They'll be like the hostess or like the waitress or something. That is classy. That is QuesoDiva behavior. And I'm like, yeah, that's super awkward. Because normally I haven't told the guy what I do. And if it's a guy I actually like, no, I'm not making a story time about him. No, you guys will never hear about him until we break up traumatically. So I'm like, no, like, this is insider information. This is insider trading you're doing. So obviously I'm like super nice, super appreciative, but now I'm like, you just left me with a ton of shit in my hands that now I have to deal with. So she leaves, she walks over, he looks at me with the shot. And I mean, this guy is obviously like, I mean, this man is so butthurt about a $37 pizza, which granted I would be too, but like, he said, pizza for the lady, pizza for the lady. And even if you are upset about it, like, don't tell me. Don't say anything. She walks away, we take the shot, and he's like, it's so lit, I need to like stick around with you more often. Like, you're just getting free drinks like from other women, like what? Like, you're getting free drinks from girls? And he does kind of start to question about the like dating posting thing. And I just grab him and I'm like, I think she thought I was someone else. I have no idea what she's talking about. I was like, this is our luckiest day ever. Like, we just got free shots from that girl. Like, that is insane. Like, let's go. And he was like, wait, you acted like you knew her. Like, I thought you knew her. And I was like, no, I think she thought she knew me, but like she didn't. But like, she gave us shots. I don't really know. I was just acting like I was just as confused as him. Which, if you're the girl listening, I have no idea if you are. Like, I love you. I love you. It was just hilarious because I was already in this like scary situation. So I play it off like I'm just confused. Then we continue like talking, finishing up our drink because I'm like, I'm just like not into this dude, like whatever. He says my middle name. And if you know anything about my social media, my username is Claire Liz. And like, so you can be like, okay, her name is Claire Elizabeth. And I never said my middle name was Elizabeth. And he kept calling me Claire Beth. Like, it was really weird. And so I was like, I feel like you have looked me up. I don't know. He was giving like really creepy, scary, dangerous vibes. Like, I'm glad that girl got out and they were able to get a divorce. So after I get my pizza and my drink, I have just decided this man is not for me. He's super immature. I'm like super confused. I can tell why he got divorced. He walks me home because he is, at the end of the day, a Southern gentleman. But he's Southern in the way that he talks back to women. Because that's also something I've realized. We'll talk about another dude later who had just zero respect for women, but it was like a cultural thing. And I do think, I mean, the South is like a different culture. And so they're used to talking around women, being in charge of the household, like all the things. And I'm just not like that. I'm a strong, independent woman that will dish it to you, and you need to be able to handle it. And you're not going to talk back to, like, you're not going to be rude to me. I'm not going to be rude to you. You're not going to be rude to me. We need to have respect for each other. We are equals until the check comes. He walks me home. I'm just feeling so icky, gross. And I'm really proud of myself because at the end of the day, he says like, yep, want to see you again. Like, we're outside my door. He's like trying to make his way in. I'm like, no, like, I feel like the way you talked to me tonight, like, isn't going to work. And so I wouldn't like to continue this. Like, you really like turned me off tonight. And he's like, oh, really? Like what? Like, oh my God, like profusely apologizing. And I'm just like, no, like it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I walk inside. So we go our separate ways. I tell him off outside my door. He texts me a few days later this. Claire Beth, I really apologize for putting you off the other night. I never meant to be rude to you whatsoever. I'd like to keep talking to you if you're down. Like, basically being like, I was rude to you, but I want to keep talking to you because I'm testing the waters to see how much you're going to put up with. And I said, I don't think we're a match, but I wish you the best. And then he texted me. This was in April. He texted me in June. Claire. Claire. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I literally hate men. What a loser. It's honestly pretty traumatizing sitting back down here every single day and reliving this trauma, because I'm realizing how many losers of men there are out there. Because I did go on like some good dates with some good men, like not very many, but some. And we're not recapping those. We're only talking about my worst and the ones that gave me trauma. And this guy definitely like gave me trauma, but I just wasn't impacted because we went on 2 dates. So stay tuned for my 4th worst date of 2025 going live tomorrow.